Hello, and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. Cup of tea at the ready, but it's too hot to drink right now. You catch me as I am typing up a quick article for another blogger, which will be going out fairly soon, but I'm also typing up new ideas for a book, because I have some sad news. Very sad. My whole project of trying to write a book with a fountain pen is going to end. It's a great pity. I'm not getting rid of the pen, I'm keeping that. But at the end of the day, although I have scribbled and scrawled my way through pages and pages and pages, there's some outlines and plots, and then I've got loads more different pages everywhere. But the trouble is, I'm just finding it is too slow. As a professional writer, I have got to get the words down moderately quickly because I have deadlines to work to. And I'm just finding that handwriting everything is taking far too long. It's much, much quicker. As soon as I paused, started updating everything on the computer, the ideas started flowing, the writing started getting a lot faster, and basically I'm just going to have to accept that handwriting is something I do for all the planning, all the characterisation, all the plotting up front, but it's not the way for me to write a book. I need to have a keyboard in front of me. Now, talking about keyboards, I have this lovely keyboard currently. It is ever so thin, as you can see. Very thin, little tiny thing. It's a Bluetooth connection through to my Apple computer, my iMac, and it's really very good. I've been using these types of keyboard now for 4 or 5 years. No, it must be more than that. Quite a few years anyway. I did have another one, which is lurking around here somewhere, but never mind. But the trouble is that when you're typing full time, it's really good having low keys, but the feel of them is pretty dire when you're trying to type 5,000-6,000 words in a day. So I started looking at different keyboards because I was thinking I needed a new one, and I found a website for a company called Astro House, but it's German House, H-A-U-S. I recommend you have a quick look at it. I haven't tried any of these things out yet, but it's a different approach to typing. It is basically replicating what a typewriter does. So instead of word processing, where you type up a paragraph and then I can see here I've got W-H-C-I-H instead of W-H-I-C-H. Now, usually when I'm typing, I will immediately go straight back, correct that, and then carry on. If you are working on a book and you're developing new ideas in your head and new characters, apparently for creatives, any interruption, whether it's a phone call going off, daughter coming in offering you a cup of tea, wife coming in saying, have you invoiced these people yet? All those little interruptions usually take between 15 and 23 minutes for the writer or the creative to get back into work mode again, because you've got to pick up all of those loose threads that you were thinking about when the interruption happened. And in the same way, I suspect now that when you go back and try to edit while you're actually writing, that is a distraction that prevents you from carrying on as well. So the thing that these guys at Astra House have developed is something called the free write. It was going to be called a Hemming writer. They had a you give us your money and we'll develop this as a project type process on the internet some years ago. And they got $350,000 or something to develop the idea. And all the idea is basically a really good quality keyboard, a small unit that's roughly the same size as an old-fashioned typewriter, and an e-ink screen roughly the size of a Kindle's on which you can type. And as you type, there are no arrow keys or anything clever like that. You have to keep typing forwards. You can't go back and edit unless you use the backspace key, like on a typewriter. And I thought, that is a damn silly idea, really. They want 400 quid for a box that won't even allow you to go back and remove a word at the beginning of a paragraph. What a damn silly idea. But then while I was looking at their website, I saw that they had a particular link through to a software package called Sprinter, which they developed for their own in-house use. And they offer it free of charge. You can try it out if you want. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I typed something up on it and I found that I was typing at more than double my normal typing speed. And that was really quite bizarre, because that was within typing a couple of hundred words. And all of a sudden the speed just improved and improved and improved. And I was trying to figure out why. And I can only assume it is because of that thing. I was actually not going back and looking to and noticing typos that I'd done earlier on. I was just carrying on flowing with the story and the characterization was coming through really quickly. So I've started using Sprinter. I've got it on the machine now. I've got to type up this article, and it's really going very quickly. It's a delightful piece of software. You can't edit on it, so what's the point of it, you may ask? Well, the simple thing is that as soon as I've typed it up on Sprinter, it goes into Dropbox. I copy it through into the editor I'm using, whether it's Nisus Pro, whether it's Scrivener, because I do all my work in Scrivener generally for my books. And then you can edit it to your heart's content there. But then you're in a separate mental mode. Then you're looking up for errors, and you go through and you'll find the errors a lot more easily. So I don't know. It is a process I am looking at. I certainly like the look of the keyboard, which is a delightful looking device. Whether or not I actually invest in one of the machines, I don't know, but I have put in a request to get a review copy. So I'm hopefully going to have one which I can borrow for a few weeks, and then I can give a better YouTube review of the free writer then, if it comes through. I hope it will. I don't know. Apart from that, what else is new? We have started... we've been to visit a litter of Ridgeback puppies. We are having a puppy in about 3 weeks, so I'm trying to work my bits off now to make sure that I get that out of the way before the puppy arrives. We had an excellent folk festival. The Dartmoor Folk Festival is always good fun. This time, as well as selling books, sold quite a few actually, it's good to hear, I also had some cards made up of watercolours I have done. There's Tinners Morris. I'm the one ducking in the background because I'm a wimp. And that's the Village High Street. And we sold quite a few of them too. It's quite nice. I like them. They're good. I'm getting back into painting again, thank goodness, because I enjoy it and people seem to like my work, so that's nice. So if you want any paintings or cards or anything, if you're interested, let me know down the bottom, make a comment and I will reply. And apart from that, there's not a lot going on really, because I'm just typing all the time. It's really exciting for my family because they wanted to go on a holiday. But hey, we're getting a puppy, what more do they want? And that's about it really. If you like the video, there's another one there, and there's comment areas down there, and you can click on things down there and share and like and tell your friends and all of the normal good stuff. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. The tea hopefully is now cold enough to drink.